I used to think that teaching 9-year-olds was really difficult. The cool factor had set in and I had trouble getting them to be really active in class until I started teaching Franklin Method. And now I feel like they have a greater sense of ownership about it. I'm not telling them what to do, so they don't have to fight me about it. They're more interested in making decisions for themselves and doing it for themselves, and they improve really quickly. We're doing a warm-up, and one of the little girls, we were rubbing our hands together to feel the energy between our hands, and she was trying really hard to be able to do it, and then looked at me and said, kind of like gave up and threw her hands down and said, well, I guess I'm just not connected to the universe then. And you know, I came back and right away and just said, well, of course you are, you know, don't you think you are? And she said yes. And then the next day she came in and was really, really excited about it and could feel the energy between her hands and asked me to feel it, and I could feel it. It was really strong. And she was innately happy. There's lots of really cool things that happen. Kids just kind of get it. They just tap into something that they're excited. It's not lost in themselves. It's not like they forgot that it was there. They know that it's there, and it gives them a tool to really feel themselves. So it makes me really happy teaching them because I learn a lot from them. But teaching the movement through Franklin Method and what it means to lift your arm up and how the arm rotates, and they would take the humerus and take the scapula and put it together and see how it is, and they'd come up with images of how the ball slides on the glenoid fossa and be so excited about it that it wasn't difficult for them to put their arms over their head without, you know, shifting through the rib cage or letting their arm hang behind them. It just was a really simple, clear action and a really supported motion in their body, and they noticed that they liked the way that it looked and they liked the way that it felt doing it that way, other than what they had learned in other classes so far. So I think it's working. For me as a teacher, moving and dancing is obviously wonderful. It's incredibly blissful for me, and that's why I keep doing it. And so when I see students that have happiness in them when they're moving, and then they get into dance class and they lose it, they become like blank slates and are kind of disembodied, I guess, and you could just see them have fear about doing something wrong. And teaching dance through Franklin Method allows them to keep being happy. You know, they keep dancing and moving with the same joy that it makes them feel when they're doing it on their own in their living room, as opposed to doing it in front of me, in front of their peers, and learning a specific technique. So it kind of ties those two things together quite nicely.